Welcome back. In this video, which will hopefully be the last in the authentication part, we will look into making a new user and enabling some kind of password reset via email. So let's get started. Let's do this. Let's run the server. And let's have a look at the application. So here we are. We can log in now, but we'd also like to handle password reset and making a new user. So let's add something to the template that lets us do that. So we have the login button, but maybe below that we will say, well, probably below the error message even. Let's make a new one, and it will link to a registration page, maybe. Yeah, sure. Or a password reset. So something like this, which Copilot realized made sense. So we can register and we can say we forgot the password. This one, I wonder if it would be nicer to put it up there. So this is a little bit more normal. And here we can even say, give me a little bit of margin. I think it's like that. Maybe that's too much. So now we have a little bit of margin, maybe that's nicer. But now we have to handle these two things. So let's start with register. So we need to make an endpoint. And it will just return the register page. And for now, I think we won't have any error messages. Well, okay, let's do also error messages. Okay, so we need to set up this registration template, and probably it should be quite similar to the login. Actually, it's almost the same. It's just that we probably want to post to register, and this one will be a little bit different. So this could be refactored. So we reuse this this component, but for now I think we'll stick with this. So now it should be working. If I click on register, it tries to redirect me to that, but because we have the middleware set up so that you cannot go anywhere except the login page if you're not logged in, it's not going to work. So we need to go ahead and let me get that one. So we need to change the middleware. So maybe we'll go ahead and say unauthorized paths, and you can go to login, and you can go to doesn't seem like you need static. But anyway, you can go to login and you can go to register. And then here we'll say if unauthorized paths, can we do like find or something? There is no contains. Okay, there is contains. So if it contains this request path, So I think there is Boolean we need to flip here. Yeah, so this is redirect to login page. So we only do that if we're not going to one of these unauthorized paths, otherwise we just forward it. So let's see if that worked. So it has to be built, now it's built, and we can go here and we go to the register page, but nothing happens because we need to add it here. And what did we call it again? Just register. And then we just do it here. And it's rebuilding. You can register. And it looks almost the same, which could be a little bit confusing. So maybe we want to do something like yeah. All right. And maybe we, okay, this is a little bit of bike shedding, but let's also add this here, login. So if we go to the login page, it says login, and here it says register new user. Okay, so now we need to handle what happens when you post, because right now nothing happens. So this one gets a pair that we'll call register post, and we need to extract the post information, which happens to be the same as this one, so we can reuse this login form again. And so user email is data.username, and this is the password. So we should actually validate the email. So email is valid. So we are going to maybe actually email errors. Let's do it like this. And then we'll have a function called validate email that takes the user email. And let's go ahead and make a utils folder, and in here we'll make a public function validate email, which takes the email string, and it returns probably a result of nothing or a list of errors. That kind of makes sense, I think. And for now I'll just put to do here so we can kind of hook everything up. And here we need to add it like that. And now this should compile. Looks like it's compiling. So let's create this one. So you probably want to do something more fancy. I don't know. Well, let's do errors. So we can say if the email doesn't contain this add symbol, then we push a new error, and then we'll say if errors is empty, we return OK, otherwise return the errors. So let's go with that. And now we can match on the errors. If it's okay, we will we will register user, i.e. add user and hashed password to the database, log user in, i.e. give them a cookie, then redirect to words, that's fine. And if there are errors, we are going to go ahead and send them the errors that we found. So errors that is join. Join is a thing, but then you have to say collect into a string maybe. And then that is the error message. This okay, it seems like we don't need to do that, so this should work. It's a string. Okay, so here we go. Great. So let us just try this, giving it something invalid. We register, and of course it doesn't work because as always we have to go here and do register post. Sorry, like this. So we go back here, we register it. Okay, now it recompiled, test. And here we get an error message. You can look at how this HTMX example app does it, because they also have some validation, and it's a little bit more nice. But yeah, so you go to the edit.html, and I think this is a much better way to validate it. It's also like happens automatically, you don't have to press register. But for now, we're going to do it like this. Okay, so we need to create a new user. So we kind of have a template for doing that here in add test user. So we need a new user type. So it's this guy. And then we just clone the password, and we clone the email, we hash the password, and then we are good to go. Then we actually should have something like this. We should have something like this. So maybe that is something in the database module, which will insert a new user, but only once. So that means that it returns kind of should be a result. For now it will be a boolean, returns true if the user was successfully inserted, otherwise false. Okay, so here we go. Maybe I don't need this. I don't need that. I need to use the user. Okay, so what we're going to do, first we're going to see if there already is a user. If there is a user, which is here, we're going to return false, didn't succeed. And if there's no user, we return true. And okay, so now I do want a result. So we can return a string as the error. So user already exists. And here it will just be an OK. And here we can say we return an error like this. We don't have new user, so we need to add that, which is up here. So now that should work. So we're gonna go ahead and get a connection, and then let's insert it, and then we can match on the result. And if it's okay, then we do something. And the problem is we have to do a lot of things, right? Okay, let's start with the okay, and if there's an error, then for now we don't do anything. Okay, but here now we need to set up the cookie and redirect to here. And we also need to, maybe I will just say create models and user. Okay, so how do we set up the cookie? Well, we have this, basically it's this we need again. Right. So we can return that. And we don't have the settings, so we need to pick up the settings. All right. So now we do all this stuff, and this should go into a separate function. Probably. So let's make it to do. Refactor this part. All right. Now, if there is an error, then we have an error message, and we should basically do this thing again. So here it's just the error message. And now it's complaining about something. This is unreachable, which is fine. Okay. Right, so we need to hash the password, and apparently that can fail, so we have to unwrap that. Okay. So let's see if we can actually get this to work now. Let's test it again. And of course it doesn't, because it was compiling. Okay, so it still correctly gives an error. We can go here and we can say, let's try a user that already, well, that one doesn't exist. But let's try to make a fake user. We need to go to register, of course. So now we have that in the database, so we can go here, and actually we cannot log out, so we We should also add that, but we can go in here and we can delete this cookie. So now we are logged out. And then we can go and try and make the same user. And it says user already exists. So that works. Now let's try to fix this or make this forgot password thingy. Or actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go ahead and make a logout page. And can we somehow make that appear like all the way on the left? So I'm sure there's a way to do that, but I don't want to fiddle with CSS right now. So what should happen when we try to log out? I think we need to send some kind of message that we want to remove a cookie. So it's definitely not this. Do we have something on the cookie that we can use? Okay, 1 second. All right, so I was looking around a little bit, and I think what we're going to try to do is to set the age of the cookie to 0. So I wonder if this compiles. Okay, it doesn't compile. We need a duration. But I don't think we have the chrono package, do we? We don't. So isn't there like something like this? Okay, so duration from seconds. Okay, let's go here and look. So it takes something from time, which is from where? Okay, who knows? Who knows? Okay, it has to come from Arctic's web cookie time duration. Do we have that? We don't. So let's add it. So here we go. And now we can maybe add the 0. We can't. So from okay, so 0 seconds, and let's see if that works. So what happens now? We're gonna when we go to the login page, logout page, we are redirected to the login page, and the cookie is supposed to be changed to have a duration of 0. So I think that will make the browser delete it. So let's try that. So we had this one. So we are logged in, everything is great. And now we can log out. And that doesn't work because we have to go here and we have to do service log out. So here we go. Are we still logged in? It's thinking. Okay, we're still logged in. So let's log out and we go here and it does look like we're logged out. And if we go here and look at the cookie, there is no cookie. We do get some console errors, which is never nice. But let's log in again. Now we have the cookie, go here, we log out, the cookie goes away, great. So that's one way you can handle logout. But you might also want to keep a list of active sessions and remove on the server and remove the this user's session from that list on logout. Because then you're really sure that the user has been logged out. All right, let us, and by the way, I read up on this. This means JavaScript cannot access the cookie. And we should put that here as well. So you want this to be true. Okay, we can make a new user, we can log in, we can log out, but we cannot handle a forgotten password. So let us do that. And that is a more complicated thing. So we have here URL forgot. And right now it will just return to do, and let's remember now to register it right away. And it should be forgotten password. So what we need now is to first of all make a forgotten page that just has an email field. So we need something like this. And we don't want errors actually. This one doesn't have to be mutable. And here we can say forgot. So let's go here, let's say forgot HTML. And it needs this extends stuff. And here we can say forgot password. We're gonna post to forgot. We are gonna get the username, which is actually like email, but whatever. So what are we gonna put here? This one we don't need. We're gonna put send reset email. So if we go here in the post, and then we should also, before I forget, we should remember to add that here to the list of allowed paths. And what do we need to do? So first we need to get the user from the database. And how do we do that? Really need a function for that. So let's just make a function for that. So database, user exists, and we also here in the post we need, unfortunately I think we kind of like need a new structure which just has the email and nothing else, and here's called email, so we might as well do this. So user exists, and the data, what is that? That is web form, forgot password form. Okay, so now we need this function. It should also take a connection, I guess, just to keep it similar to the other functions. So we'll need to do this stuff, and we can match the result and do like this. So if the user exists, we return true, and probably we don't need a reference there. But here we do need a connection. So let's add a connection. It's very possible that all this stuff can be refactored, but we're just trying to get all of the basic elements up and running. Okay. So now we have that. So let's say if the user doesn't exist, then we do want to go here to the forgot page, and we actually do want the errors now. So let's add those back here. And so what do we want to do? We want to say context.insert error message user doesn't exist. And then maybe we do want to do this. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's go here. But if the user does exist, we basically let's do it like this. So this stuff, we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna say context insert. It's gonna say error message, but whatever. Password reset email sent. Okay, so clearly we haven't sent an email, so we need to make some code to do that as well. So we can put that in utils, and we can send password reset email. All right, so then we need to go into utils, and this is actually going to be an asynchronous function. So if we go back here, this one should actually be awaited. And what did I do here? This doesn't make any sense. So send password set email, which takes a user email as a string, and it's gonna return probably a result. We'll need to return a result. So the question is now, how do we actually send an email? And so before we do that, let's do the following. So we can match the result with OK. And then we want to insert this thing, well, like that. And if it is an error, then we insert the error message. And I think it's like this. All right. So how do we do it? How do we do it? We are gonna use a crate called letra. And this crate uses something called SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And that is simply just a way to send emails. Okay, so we need a couple of features, so I just have to look at my notes. We're gonna use this version, and the features we need is the builder feature and this runtime. And now let's get started. So it's a bit of a hassle to get this stuff working. So one thing we need is to set up an SMTP service somewhere else. I'm using Gmail because it's free, but you can just Google SMTP service and then you find whatever. You find many examples of services, I'm sure. So we need a couple of things here. We need like an email host, which is basically for Gmail. It's and actually I will put in the description a link to the guide I used to set up the Gmail SMTP. So you can just follow along with that, and it also lets you set up an email alias. And the password is something called an app password. So I have all of these things, let's say. So this one is definitely this. The email user I have stored in an environment variable called app user. And the email password is stored in app pass. Great. So let's start by getting the settings, and here we get the settings. What's it complaining about? Okay. Now we need a sender mailbox. So that is what is that? Okay, give me a second. All right, so I went ahead and found the things we need. So this guy is a mailbox, and you can do something like this. So this is from me. Then you have to put in your email here. So then we can say receiver mailbox is let's just say you. So that's going to be the user email. And then we can say, let's make an email by using the message builder. So do the following. So it's from the sender, it's to the receiver, and we can say forgotten password for this app. So then we can do the following. We can say we use this alternative. That's weird. Don't know why that doesn't work anymore. Now, but in any case, we send these two alternatives. I'm not so sure why we need that, so I think we can get away with just sending a single part, and it's going to be HTML. And in here we can send whatever we want, so we can send, for example, reset your email, reset your password. And then let's get rid of all this. And then I think could fail, so we're just gonna unwrap it, of course. And this one should actually be a builder. There we go. And this stuff has to be a string, I think. Okay, so now we have set up a basic email. Now we just need to send it. So to send it, we need some credentials for using the SMTP server. So we're going to say SMTP authentication credentials new, and we're going to get the email user and the email password. So those are the credentials. Then we need something to mail it, so that is called sometimes a mailer. And I think Copilot has it pretty much set up. Actually, here we'll just say relay, and we need the email host. Then we unwrap, we give it the credentials, and then we build. And for some reason it needs to know the type. So we can put that there. Now finally we say, okay, just please send this email. And it's asynchronous, so we wait. And if it's okay, we send okay, and otherwise we send the error. So that should work. Let's go back and check here. So we sent the password reset, and let's test it out. So I have made a demo Gmail account, both for running the SMTP server, but we can also test the reset. So first we need to register it. So okay, we need to register. So code HTMX demo gmail.com. We register, and we are registered. Now let's log out, and let's say we forgot the password. Nothing happens. Because why? Because we need to insert probably the error message. So let's let it recompile. Let's make sure everything is saved. Reset the password. Okay, here we go. So we send the reset email. Not sure what's happening. Did we not? Okay, so of course we forgot to register that one. All right. Now let's make sure it has recompiled. And why does it say that? That's a bit annoying. It shouldn't say anything, right? Okay. Okay, so it takes a bit of time. You should probably add some kind of response, but let's do that. To do, add a spinner. So it says it sent a reset email. So let's look here. Ah, we did get something. So that's pretty good, but it doesn't let us reset. So we need some more stuff. And we need basically a reset, and it should take also a secure token. So the way it works is we send an encrypted token, or we generate an encrypted token and embed that in a link that is sent to the user. Then when they click that link, the token is sent back to us, and we know that this is something that we generated because it's encrypted, cannot be tampered with. And then we unencrypt that token, and we get the username from that, and then we let them reset. Okay, so reset password, and here we probably need like get the token. Like that. And what do we want to do here? Probably we make a reset page. So here we have the reset, and it can be reset password, reset, and here reset password. And you need, well, you don't need the email because that is kind of like encoded, but let's say we have a label for password. And I'm not really going to do this confirm stuff, but you could add that. And yeah, let's also send the token back. All right, let's do that. What is data? It's just that, so. But how do I pass it? Okay, let's see the documentation. Okay, you have to say into inner. Into inner. Now this is just a string. Okay. But now we can get this thing, but we also need to actually have a token. So, but let's add it here, reset, and then we have to remember when we send the password reset email, we also need to generate a token and put that into the email. So let's say secure token is something, but it's not that, because we need to go into Auth. No, we need to go into secure token. So secure token, generate token. And we need the username, that's the user email. So now we have a token, and we'll say reset your password, but actually you should click here. Well, let's say the content is format, and now we just redirect to localhost, but obviously you shouldn't do that. For real, you should redirect to your website URL. Sorry, it's hard to think today. And then we decided that it's like in the path, so we'll do like this, reset / the secure token. And that is it. Then we put that here. Now we get that token in the link, and we actually get a link as well. So let's go up here. When we reset, let's print for us to see the token is. And now we can go here. And that one does not work because it's called reset password. Now we can go try it out. So we use this. It's thinking for a bit, then has sent the email. And we go here and we see we got the new email, and we can click here to set password, and we get directed here, which is of course because the middleware. Before I forget, to do this token should have a time limit, have an expiration time. Okay, so we are actually allowed to go to reset even if we're not authorized. So let us now let's go to reset password. We get a reset email. We click that, and that didn't work. That did not work. Because, okay, you know what? We're gonna put it in the query, but then we need something like this. And then we can use the query instead, and it's gonna be reset data. Fortunately, you have to do this stuff, so we're going to say data.token and data.token. So that should work, but then we need to go into our reset, which is here, and we need to make sure that it's actually stored like that. Okay. We forgot the password. We go here. We send the email. Here's a new email. Okay, and now it worked. And you can see we got a nice little token. And if we then make this endpoint post, and this is form data, and the form data is gonna be reset form. It needs a token, but it also needs a new password, and actually something we need to put inside the token. Well, we already have the username, right? We have the username in there, so we can find that. Okay, so we don't need to put anything extra in there. Right, so we get here the reset form. Then we need to do some stuff. What do we need to do? We need to first unpack the token, so we get the username, which is done in here. And when we verify the token, verify token and return username. So we can say the username is this stuff. Okay, but we need to match the username with OK username to do something. And if there is an error, then we need to return some kind of, this should never happen basically. So just for now, I'm gonna say that we are going to redirect, just redirect here. And this is like that. Yeah, fine. Okay, so we have the username, then we need to update database, new password. So let's get the new password, we hash that, and then we're gonna call, we need a connection, and then we're gonna say database update password for that user with the new password with this connection. And then we are, and here, by the way, you could probably add logging. There's a lot of places you can add logging. And I think there is a crate called tracing that is useful. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, I think it's called tracing. And that has some nice way to add logging. Okay, but we need this update password function. Which takes a username, a new password, and it takes a connection. And then we are simply going to get the user with that user email. We are gonna set the new password, and we are going to execute that. Here we can say to do error handling, but it is what it is. So you update the password, and then you get redirected to the login, so you can try to log in with the new password. So let's see if it actually works. So let's go home once it's compiled. So I can log in, right? I can log in. gmail.com. I think my code was 123. So I can log in and I can see all the words. I can log out. I can say, okay, I forgot my password. Please send me a reset email. It takes a bit of time, but then the email is sent. I can go here. I can say, okay, my new password is now 321. It takes some time, apparently. It takes some time because you have to register it. All right, let's try that again. So I think we can reuse this link. So the new password is 321, and it looks, we actually don't know if it worked. So 321, and login failed. That is interesting. Maybe if there is an error, let's say forbidden. Let's try that. Okay, forgot password. Okay, still it's Actually, let's add just something here so we know that we actually hit this point. And we could even say the token is this stuff. Oh, it can't do that. It's compiled, we go through, send me an email, here's the email, click the link, and we say 321 is the new password. And it is the exact same token we get. And it seems like it worked. So let's try. The login failed again. So I wonder if it's this this set function that's not the correct one. Didn't say anything about an error. But let's go to the login endpoint and let's see here. So why did it fail? Let's, if you validate the login, and we're gonna say this stuff, and that fails. And we can even go here and say we reset the password, and the new hashed password is this thing. And we'll say verifying against hash this stuff. Okay. And we should also, okay, so let's try once again to say we forgot the password. We get the email, we go here, we click the link. The new password is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have a hashed password, so let's go ahead and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are supposed to be exactly the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. So I wonder if new password is this. So then we have to go here, get the reset email. New password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still, it's not the same. That is weird. Let me debug off screen. All right, I think I found the error. When you get the username, for some reason it has the quotes around it, and it's probably an issue with the secure token. Thing. So what we're gonna do is this is no okay, we have to do it here. So let's get rid of this code for now. Let's keep it actually. Let's keep it. But let's comment it out. And now the username should be actually the username, but we replace quotes with nothing. So now I think it should just work. Okay. So something happened. We can try to log in with a new password. And it succeeded. All right, so that was a very long process, but now we basically have a fully fledged app that has a database. It has authentication, and you can add new features to it. You can like build out your own product if you want. I think we can say execute here instead. Let's actually keep this for now. There's of course many things that should be polished. There's a lot of to-dos, as you can see, a lot of to-dos. But I think we're gonna stop this series here, because basically we have everything, all the hard parts are done. Now it's just about building something that people actually want to use, if you want to use it for that. So the source code is in the description, so you can go ahead and use this as a template if you like. Of course, I make no claims about how secure it actually is. Maybe I made some mistake. I'm not a security expert. But yeah, I hope you find it useful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.